Cup England match against the Democratic Republic of Congo was on the other afternoon, so I thought, we'll watch the match in the office and we'll get a few beers in, or we could go to the Cross Keys pub just over there. God, I've nailed this big management thinking. So I wander over to the pub and I'm going to ask, is the match on? And what do you know? Yes, the match is on. Anyway, brilliant. While I'm there, I noticed one of my old team is there and they're doing social media for the pub. Friend of the old manager. Anyway, the iPhone small rig handle set up on it and she's filming away this cheese board. I thought to myself, maybe that could be a little bit better. Have you thought about that ad format, the old way versus the new way, where you put a bit of pain in and you type of aggravate it a little bit? But walking back to the office, I thought to myself, you know what? You need to hear about this as well. Because as you know, if you want your Google ads to work better, you need more people entering at that top of the funnel before they actually search. But how do you create YouTube ads that really work? Well, let's start with the old way versus the new way with a bit of problem aggravation, okay? Stirring it in there a bit. And you can use this for social media as well. In simple terms, you take the way your customer currently solves problems, show them that the old way is broken, outdated, frustrating, or slightly ridiculous, and then you introduce the new, better way. Oh, and you highlight that pain a bit as well. So let's jump in and we'll look at a couple examples of these ads and we'll see how you apply this framework to a real small business or one like you have. Now, the one vital thing you have to understand about this top of funnel advertising is this: people are not looking for you. You may not have been looking for me. John Langley, I'm the founder of Click Convert Marketing and I run a specialist Google Ads agency. Now, people are not randomly sitting there on YouTube deciding which company they want to buy from, especially Google Ads. You're interrupting them watching videos they want to watch. And if you're interrupting them, you have to earn their attention. That matters whether you're running bumper ads that are 6 seconds, skippable in-stream 15-second ads, or any of the longer format Google ads, well, YouTube ads. The ad format may change, but the principles are the same. You have to grab that attention quickly, hold on to it, and make the viewer feel like your ad is worth watching. And what that means is your ad has to be interesting. It can't just be another product pitch. Because it's the top of funnel, that's not enough. You need a hook. You need a point of view. You need to make the viewer stop and think, hang on, this is about me. And the more YouTube ads I review, the more I think that one of the strongest formats is the old way versus the new way, and highlighting a problem as well, aggravating the problem. That sounds complicated, I know, but it's actually very simple. You take the way the customer solves a problem, you make that old way feel outdated, frustrating, awkward, expensive, embarrassing, or downright ridiculous. Then you introduce the new, better way. And that's where this ad format starts to work, because you're not just saying, buy my product, you are saying the way you currently think about this problem is wrong. But the important point is not to blame the customer. Oh no, it must be someone else's fault, never theirs. And once someone believes the old way is broken, the new way becomes much easier to sell. Now, one of the best examples of this is Dr Squatch. Now, Dr Squatch sells soap, which on paper is not exactly the most exciting product in the world. Dove's been selling soap for years. It's a bar of soap after all, but their ads do not feel like soap ads. They feel like comedy sketches. They feel like rants. They feel like someone has taken an ordinary product and turned it into a battle between the old boring way and the new better way. And what makes them interesting, often these ads get positive and negative reactions. That doesn't matter. It's generating attention. It means your ads are not wallpaper. You're standing out, and that is vital. Now, in this video, we're going to break down 2 Dr Squatch ads. Like I can Squatch. It's Sasquatch, isn't it? So it's Dr Squatch. Anyway, one's aimed at women and one's aimed directly at men. What I want you to notice is they're not just being funny for the sake of being funny. The humour is there to hold attention. But underneath the humour, there is a proper direct response framework. The old way, They amp up the problem, there's an enemy, there's a new way, there's proof, there's call to action. So let's have a quick look at some of these sections from the Dr Squatch ads. Now, I'm not going to play the whole ads all the way through, I just want to show you the structure. We'll look at around 30 seconds, we'll dip in and out. And I'll pause and break down what's actually happening underneath, but I'll put full links in the description so you can go and watch the ads yourself. Because when you first watch these ads, they just feel like funny soap ads. But once you understand the framework, you start to see the pattern. They're not making random jokes. Yes, they're using humour to deliver a clear advertising structure. So let's look at the first ad aimed at women. What I want you to notice is how they start with the person who feels the frustration, not necessarily the person using the product, their partner. They call out the woman who knows her man smells, or has a boring scent, who knows he will not change his soap, and who is probably more problem aware than he is. So let's watch the first section.
If your man refuses to switch his soap and still swears he doesn't smell bad, this video is for you. Most men never question the synthetic excuse of a soap they've had since puberty. Whatever they grabbed the first time a girl said, "Ew, you stink." Dr Squatch said, screw that.
Right, so let's pause there. What did they do? They didn't start by saying Dr Squatch is a natural soap. They didn't start with ingredients. They didn't start with an offer. They started with a problem. Ladies, if your man refuses to switch his soap and still swears he doesn't smell bad, this video is for you. That's the hook. It's funny, but it's also very specific. They're not talking to everyone. They are talking to a woman who recognizes that exact situation. And that's a massive lesson for small businesses. The person using the product is not always the person most annoyed by the problem. In this case, the woman knows her guy doesn't smell great. The woman wants him to change. The woman may even be the person who buys the soap as well. Now the problem, smell, is really interesting. We all use soap, so in truth, none of us smell. But they managed to make the problem that doesn't really exist a problem that focuses our attention. Nobody wants to smell bad, but as a guy, your partner suddenly saying, "You don't smell good, here's a new soap," that's like, whoa, full alert, what's on here? Full spider senses on alert. What if my friends and my colleagues think I smell? Of course you don't. But what they've done is they've managed to put that into your head, because even if it is, you begin to think, ooh, perhaps I just don't smell good enough. And you need to think about what problems can you play on, even if they aren't really problems. Could you aggravate that problem enough to make it one that people are concerned about? So the ad is really starting with the frustration, not the feature, the frustration. Then, straight away, they make the old way feel ridiculous. Most men have never questioned the soap they use. Well, it would probably be shower gel in truth. They just grabbed something years ago and kept using it. That's the old way. So, in the first few seconds, the structure is already there. Audience call out. The problem. We aggravate the problem. We introduce the old way. Now, let's look at another part of the same ad where they introduce the enemy. Right.
It's not men's fault they smell bad. Decades ago, big soap quietly stripped all of the natural ingredients out so that they could make it cheaper and let it sit on the shelf for years. What they replaced it with isn't even soap anymore. It's so far from the real thing that a lot of them won't even put the word soap on it. That's why so many say body bar or beauty bar.
Right, this is where it gets really interesting. They're not just saying our soap is better, they are saying the old industry created the problem. That's why Big Soap is so important in the script. Big Soap becomes the villain. Big Soap stripped out all the natural ingredients. Big Soap made it cheaper. Big Soap created products that are so far from real soap that some of them do not even call it soap anymore. Now the problem is just not your man smells, the problem is he has been using the wrong thing for years because the old industry sold him an inferior solution. That gives the viewer someone to blame. I bet in your industry you have a big category or industry to blame too. In mine, it's big ads, Google, and the hordes of white office agencies and freelancers all pitching Google's best practices to their unsuspecting customers, and customers just losing money. Like the ad, they have been selling customers an inferior solution too. The man's not stupid, the woman's not being unreasonable, The old product is the problem, and that's a much stronger way to sell. Then Dr Squatch becomes the new way. Natural ingredients, proper soap, made for men, better scents, better skin feel.
When you use Dr Squatch, you're washing with natural ingredients from the earth. Olive oil to clean without stripping, and coconut oil for the lather. And oatmeal to soothe his skin. Shea butter so he doesn't reach for lotion after every shower. Oh, real men aren't supposed to care about how they smell and feel. Yeah, and real men weren't supposed to do skincare either. Then Brad Pitt turned 55 and he looked 32. Come on, catch up.
And then they use reviews to show the outcome. His wife or partner notices he smells better. The person affected by the problem actually can tell the difference. It's the old way your man washes is broken, and here's the new way. Now, let's look at a second ad. Let's look at another Squatch ad. This one uses the same framework, but instead of speaking to women, it speaks directly to men.
Listen up, the soap you shower with, it's you probably haven't even questioned what bar soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. They're still using whatever bar their mommy bought for her little man. Is that what you want? To smell like mama's little man? Ugh.
So let's pause there. Same product, same framework, different audience. This time the hook is, listen up, the soap you shower with, you probably haven't even questioned it. And this is the new behavior. You're using something without thinking about it. Then the clever bit, they aggregate the problem by saying most guys are still using whatever bar their mum bought them. Now, for women, that's like a red rag to a bull. It's not great for us guys either to be called out on that. Now, that's making the old way feel childish. It's slightly brutal, I know, but it works because it's wrapped in humor. They are saying, if you keep using that old soap, you are stuck in an old identity, the old way.
But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr Squatch Natural Soap. I'm talking about natural, nourishing, cold-pressed, hand-cut soap for men. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who open the pickle jar on the first try. Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. Dare I say, soft.
And then they introduce the upgrade, natural, cold-pressed, hand-cut soap for men. Men who build things, men who use their hands, men who can open the pickle jar on the first try. Impressive. Again, that's just not product information, that's an identity. They are not simply saying this soap has better ingredients, they are saying this is the soap for the new kind of man you want to be. Now, let's look at the next section where they explain why the old way exists.
You want to smell like the forest? Boom, pine tar. Now you're wondering, why have I been doing it wrong for so long? During the First World War, big soap started taking out all the natural ingredients to make production cheaper and faster. And they replaced all the natural stuff with chemicals. Chemicals like sodium lauryl sulfate.
Again, same pattern. Old way, problem aggravating the problem, enemy, new way. They explain that big soap removed all the natural ingredients to make production cheaper and faster. And then they introduced their mechanism again, natural ingredients, oils, plants, oatmeal, shea butter, better lather, better scents, better skin feel. Oh, let's not forget to read out testimonials.
Still not sure? Here's a couple reviews from real customers. Joseph S. says,
"This is the perfect bar of soap. It's like it was handcrafted in the Northwest Forest by beautiful tiny elves."
oh, tiny elves isn't enough for you?
Social proof, that is really important in this format. Then they make the call to action. So the big lesson from both of these ads is not be funny, it is, that's where people get this really wrong. The humor is not the strategy, the humor is like the wrapper. The strategy is the old way versus the new way, and they aggravate the problem. The old way is cheap synthetic soap from big soap, the enemy. The problem is that men have been using it for years without ever questioning it. And this new soap is natural, it's designed for men. That's the framework. And once you see the framework, you can use it for almost any business. Now, what is the takeaway from Dr Squatch, and how do you use it in a normal business? Because this is where most people get stuck. They look at their brand and they think, oh, yeah, that was great for them. They've got funny writers, big production, and a product that's easy to joke about. But how does this help my business, your business? So let's make this simple while I get blown around here. Say you sell drapes, backdrops, and event transformation systems for churches, hotels, halls, and venues. The boring ad would be, we sell high quality drapes and backdrops for events. Nobody cares, because nobody wakes up emotionally excited about buying poles and fabrics. So instead, we ask a better question. What problem does this actually solve? Now, think about this. It helps venues turn ordinary rooms, like this one here, into photo-ready event sets. Now we can use a framework. The old way is trying to hide the room. You can add some flowers, chairs, balloons, and tablecloths, but the plain wall is still there. The fire door is still there. The storage corner is still there. And all of it is still showing up in the background of photos. This is us hyping up the problem, because people are not just booking a room anymore. We all know that. They are booking an Instagram photo, the reel, the wedding backdrop, the baby shower set, the moment people want to actually share. We're creating a problem. Your venue isn't Instagram photo ready. It's not an Instagram destination. Social is everything. No Instagram photos, no bookings. Your old venue, the old way. So the new way is not to decorate around the room. The new way is to create a set. Think of it like a movie set. The whole building does not have to be perfect. The scene people see has to be perfect. So the idea becomes, stop trying to hide the room, start creating a set. Stop selling the space, start selling the scene, the dream, the Instagram photo that everybody wants their friends to envy. Using ChatGPT is just the base of it. This is not meant to be the finished ad. It's just to show you how easy the thinking can be, and then you could turn these into a seed dance to AI video and then put a voiceover. Frame one is the plain room. Useful, practical, but not exactly the dream. Now, this next frame adds the drapes and the lighting. It's making the room come alive. Now, the room starts to have a focal point. Now, Frame 3 builds the full set here, the chairs, the candles, the chandelier, and it all starts to feel really premium. And then finally, we show the final event moment, the people, the ceremony, the reason the room needed to look good in the first place. And that gives us the entire structure. Frame 1, the old way. Frame 2, the transformation starts. Frame 3, the new way. Frame 4, the dream outcome. That's what we're selling, the dream outcome. And you could use those 4 images as slides in an ad, or far better, you could use Seed Dance 2, the AI video generator, to make them into a video. You could get a voiceover, you could add captions, you could use an AI actor with your voice over. But the production method is not really the important bit here. The important bit is the script thinking. Old way, aggravate a problem, the new way, and then finally our dream outcome. And once you have that, ChatGPT can help you turn that into hooks, skits, voiceovers, scenes, ideas, and full YouTube skits. But the key is this. Do not just ask ChatGPT to write you an ad. If you do that, write me a YouTube ad for drapes, you're probably going to get something generic, something boring. Instead, we need to give it the strategy, the old way, the new way, the problem you want to aggravate there, okay? Stir it up a bit. The big enemy, our foe, and the customer transformation you want to create. Anyway, I thought about this a bit more, and I've created you a ChatGPT prompt, and there's going to be a link in the description there, and you just paste this into ChatGPT or Claude, and it will ask you a series of questions, and it will create your own personalized old v new way script. So if you're experiencing issues with your Google ads, and you want us to honestly tell you whether the problem is really your Google ads or whether nothing's feeding the top of the funnel, we offer a 20-minute review. There's a QR code on screen and there's a link down below in the description, or you can visit Click Convert Marketing as always, because the businesses that win from here on won't be the ones who simply run ads. They'll be the ones who create the buyer higher up in the YouTube funnel, and they capture it there. So they're capturing that buyer early on, and that's what feeds now the bottom of the funnel. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this ad. We'll do a few more on these next time. And next time I think I'll probably talk a little bit about the new ChatGPT ad format that's come out as well. Anyway, until next time guys, bye.